Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Shah. I found a Reddit story, and it's about a guy who's wondering if he's the bad guy for not wanting to support his girlfriend's sister and give her his girlfriend's sister money. So let's go ahead and read through that. This is a throwaway because people who know me know my account. Some info. I have been with my girlfriend, 27 years old female, for 5 years. She loves her sister a ton, which is a good thing, as I believe supporting and helping your siblings, as long as it doesn't ruin your own life. You will understand why I say this later on. We just put down a mortgage on a house in the suburbs of a large city. I, 28-year-old male, work in tech as a software developer with a master's degree in computer science. I make quite a lot of money, so money issues never arose. Girlfriend doesn't work and does chores. Cooking in the house. Both agreed on this. I was going to propose to GF next year, but a problem arose about 2 years ago. So, I mean, already, in my opinion, that's a dangerous move right there. If he marries her and she's not working, I mean, in today's world, I just look at the divorce and it could be bad. For the last 2 years, probably longer, girlfriend has been sending money to her younger sister. Let's call her Emily. Emily got pregnant at 20 years old. Emily works as a waitress. The father is bouncing from job to job. Emily says that he is very lazy. He will disappear hours at a time without telling Emily where he's going or what he's doing. Emily has asked my GF on several occasions for money. My GF, being the nice and sweet person she is, says yes all the time. It started off as paying for diapers, no problem. Then baby clothes, which also no problem. Then daycare, which I just brushed off. I talked with girlfriend saying we can't always pay for everything and that helping out for a couple things is okay, but not everything. Girlfriend reassured me and said that it would be stopping soon once they get their feet picked up, which is fine. One day, I hire a financial planner. The next day, I get an email saying my account has sent approximately $50,000 for the last 10 months and have around 20,000 sitting in my account. I talk with my girlfriend and she apologizes and says she knew that I wouldn't want to keep sending her sister money and how she just cares about her sister. We've been paying for everything. Insurance, rent, car payment, daycare, clothing for all three, dinners, dates, going out expenses. It is partly my fault because I never check my bank account. Girlfriend shows me text messages between her and Emily saying she needs the money. I then noticed a pattern where Emily would say, "Hey, can you send me money? I don't have money for it, fill in the blank." And of course, girlfriend says yes. I brush it off and girlfriend says she won't send any more. The next day, girlfriend sends her $1,000 because they needed car repairs. I talk with girlfriend and we get into an argument where she says she will always help her sister no matter what. I understand to an extent. We argue, trying to understand each other's point of view. As stated before, we had $20,000 and now we're down to $19,000. And then how about the next time? And the next time after that? On top of our own expenses, girlfriend then decided that she needs some time alone and that she will be at her mother's for the time being. Now I'm all alone in the house. I thought I would live with the girl of my dreams. Am I the asshole for arguing with my girlfriend for caring about her sister too much? So that was his first post. So this is from a subreddit called the Best of Redditor Updates. And they go in and they look for these stories where users have actually come in a few days later or a week later to give an update. But on just this part so far, I don't see how he can ever marry someone that can't be trusted with money. I mean, $50,000 in the span of 10 months is, that's just more than I can even really imagine giving away ever. So let's go to the next update. So March 21st, this is the next day. Thank you everyone for the support. I never thought that my situation would blow up to thousands of people. I'll try to answer some questions at best. I make around $150,000 a year as a lead software developer. As someone who has no kids, dogs, or any major responsibility besides myself and a girlfriend, I never check my account. She comes from a cultural family where family is everything and money is just paper. She texted me earlier saying how it should always be family first and that money didn't mean anything without family and how we should help close family like siblings in their time of need. You know what's crazy about that is just, I understand that family is really important, but that's not his family. That's her family, especially since they're not even married yet. And honestly, even once you're married to someone, that's something I think about a lot. Like two people getting married and then their families becoming involved. And even I can remember growing up or just listening to my parents and my mom's sisters, and all their webs they create for money that they might need. I remember my parents loaning out my mom's sister's money. And then the other way around, or, my dad's family back home, they need money sometimes, and everybody just needs money and all this stuff. And it's crazy how someone that you've not known your entire life, and then you get married to someone, and then suddenly that person's family is also your family now. And then when things happen, like you need to, contribute or whatever it is, it's almost kind of wild for me to think about, even though that's how it is, I guess. She texted me earlier saying it should always be family first and that money didn't mean anything without family, and how we should help close family like siblings in their time of need. At this point, I told her I needed time to myself and told her not to come back until I'm ready to talk. I apologize if my sentences aren't making sense, as whiskey is my only friend right now. I also forgot to mention, we started dating before all this money came into play, so I trusted her. Another edit. I'm more sad by the betrayal than the money. Money will come back, but time will never come back. 5 whole years, my proposal plan, my life plan, my future kids I dreamt about with her, just gone. All the things we've said to each other, all the late night wine drunk times we spent, all the dates, all the flowers I gave her. I really tried with all my power to be the best man she can have. I would have trusted her with my life, and what do I get back? $50,000 gone. I guess you could say $51,000 gone, because she had then given the sister another $1,000 the following day. But, he's not in a horrible position. He's going to be heartbroken for a little bit because he really liked her. There really is no choice but to cut the cord. But he's going to be okay because he's a solid, young person and he's making good money. And it's way better to figure this stuff out now than like 10 years down the line when you got a 3 and a 5-year-old and a bunch of credit card debt because she decided to get a bunch of credit cards and it's all marital property. And, she accuses you of domestic violence and all these other things happen. And now there's a restraining order and you can't go in your own house. So she's already at her mom's and they're probably going to break up. But let's see the last update. Final update, March 28th. So this is 8 days later. She is now my ex. We met at a local coffee shop and I told her that things wouldn't work out for us. And she went absolutely ballistic. She caused a scene begging me to not end it. It did hurt me to see her like this, but after a couple weeks to give it some thought, I would not want a wife who was a liar and one I couldn't trust financially. I left a $100 bill on the table and left, but she followed me down to my car. She begged and told me she wouldn't send any more money to her sister and how she would do anything for us to be together. It was hard, but I stayed strong. She picked up her belongings the other day, and I almost had to call the cops because she wouldn't leave. She first tried everything from sexual favors, begging, crying, then it turned to screaming that I ruined her life, to even saying without her I wouldn't have gotten to where I am now because of her quote-unquote support. I stayed strong, and when she left, I just broke down sobbing. I think it's just really interesting that she, goes through all these stages of negotiation, and then tries to everything from sexual favors. And that part's just really disgusting, because now she's brought herself down to the level of prostitute and hooker in order to try to keep this relationship going, basically to keep his provisioning for her and the lifestyle he was providing her in exchange for sexual favors. For those wondering, I'm not going to press charges because all I want is for her to leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with her. I don't ever want to see her face again. The money will come back as it's just me, a house, and 2 paid off cars. It does get lonely, so I'm thinking of getting a puppy, a Doberman for those wondering. Oh, I love Dobermans. I used to have a Doberman myself. They're very beautiful and loyal dogs. Very noble, very noble. Thank you, everyone, for all the suggestions, and a lot of you really had me thinking about my decisions, and I definitely learned a lot of valuable lessons. Goodbye, and thank you. Yeah, he definitely sounds very naive, but, Most young people are. And everyone goes through this probably once in their lives. I'd say most people. It's just that sometimes not all of us go through this at the same time. Some of us, it might be earlier in our lives, and others, it might be much later. But the lessons learned, it's just that sometimes if it's later, the damage that is dealt can be far greater than if it's earlier. And this young man, he lost $51,000 so far, but at least he knew when to cut the cord. Because it could have been a lot more than that, and he's making decent money. So the girlfriend, I don't know what her deal is, or if she had any college education or not, or if she's going to be able to get a decent job to afford the same lifestyle. But he's really lucky that he wasn't married to her, because if he was, he'd be paying alimony and all this other kind of stuff. And it's just crazy, the logic of like giving your family or the sister $50,000, and he just became this like ATM credit card machine where, the girlfriend's sister was just completely taken advantage of. And I think the girlfriend herself knew also. So she's probably going to hate her sister for the rest of her life. And she's going to be going through probably a worse heartbreak with some horrible depression. But hopefully she learns something about responsible spending and, maybe having more of a frank conversation with her sister and about not giving her money and about how she ruined that relationship for him. So, but I don't even want to even blame the sister all the way. It's still her fault too for giving away his money, especially without asking behind his back. That's the part that's really bad. She's basically stealing from him. Now, if they were married, it wouldn't have been stealing because that would have been community property. So the smartest thing he did was not proposing to her. Anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys ever been in a similar situation, let's talk about it down below, and we'll see you on the next one.